place last night here, and God just is kind, you know. I think whenever we're teaching, and I so want this model, I think for all the reasons that you articulated, but we are in a big kind of grace bullseye is another way of thinking about it. It's not like we're on this tightrope where we're just one little mistake and we're going to miss God, you know. He is so zealous for this kind of expression back to Him in the city. You know, regionally, I think that's really good what you're talking about. That we are actually in the middle of like a 50-mile bullseye. You know, we're just not going to miss this as long as we keep saying yes to the Lord. And but I do think that the whole regional breakthrough thing is something that only comes. We have Tuscaloosa intercessors who kind of hiked over here to get some of this training. And, you know, when you give yourself, you may be an intercessor for a local church. You may even be the person in your church that your pastor counts on most, you know, to get prayers through for, you know, your local church. But most people who kind of have reached that level of intercession are also now in a place where they're contending for regional or generational breakthrough. You know, if you know how to pray for your local church, you're probably already also agreeing with God's heart for your whole city or state or something bigger. And so that's where I think a lot of the DNA of the prayer movement helps intercessors. It also helps worship leaders. There are a lot of worship leaders who love to lead worship, but their motives are maybe not quite the same as regional breakthrough or the prayer movement. They don't quite get that part of it yet. They're still in it to meet other worship leaders and get good gigs around local churches and ministries, you know. Now, we want them here too, but we've got to, you know, protect the DNA of what it is that a house of prayer really is about. Because we're carrying some things that very few people actually across Birmingham really get, seriously. And even in a revival culture. And so, because revival, I won't go, I can start preaching. But, you know, we don't know what's in front of us in terms of the shakings. And this particular house wants to see people wake up, not just so that we can have awakening and revival in the sense of God is coming, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming. And there's going to be some really, really strong shakings in the earth because He loves us and He can't just show up. He wants the earth to be fully warned. He wants His bride to be fully prepared. And it's more than a ministry. It's more than a movement. It's more than an awakening for America to be great again. It's more than that. It's Jesus is coming. Are you ready? Are we ready? Am I ready? So there's just dynamics to this thing I want to keep before us, even as we're talking about a model, because and I'll be the first to say I can get so wrapped up into the next meeting and administrating it that I just, you know, cranky. You know, I'm just cranky. It's like, I'm the director of the House of Prayer, but I'm cranky because we don't have the right color of, you know, dry, you know, whatever it is. And so, you know, just cut me slack. And we're getting there. But I'll say, this is excellent. Your participation is excellent. I want to point you to Adrian, and then also, I do want to say this. Any of you who's been in the prayer furnace knows that we're committed to strengthening local churches and ministries around the city. We're not just about us. We're so not about us. I can confidently say that. This young man, his wife, a couple of other couples, and some others are launching a church, a house church, on next Sunday morning. And I'm just unashamedly saying, if you're not in a church, consider talking to Thomas about whether you should be there Sunday morning. Again, you know, they're carrying something that is unique, and it has to be reinforced constantly. You know, if this house of prayer is going to grow, there are some people who are going to have to make a primary commitment. You know, even if this isn't like technically where you're supposed to give most of your money or time, ask the Lord. Maybe the Lord's saying, well, au contraire. Actually, this is where you are supposed to give most of your money and time and commitment. Because there has to be some who are so committed to this reality in this house and making this thing move forward without apology. You know, we're still going to be strengthening local churches, other ministries. But please be in prayer about that, because this local church is being launched. I mean, he's in grad school, and the other people who are all doing it, they're not getting paid. They're all, you know, as overwhelmed as you are with responsibilities in their lives. And but yet this, I think, is, as God blesses this particular expression of local church, part of their desire is to really feel the prayer movement and to feel the prayer furnace as a practical expression of that. And just want to bless you. Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that some of you may need to leave, and so as we guard your time, if you go, because we're now going to launch into showing this.
We should. Just for
So some
take
people
off
are
the
like,
leadership.
I'm there, I don't have any place to go, I want to do this, but some of you may need to leave. So if you go to ihop.org and you get on the web screen, it does allow you to watch and see what was just taught. So if you have a time crunch and you need to leave, I don't know how you want to allow people,
Yeah.
like, do I get up in the middle of this? But
Yeah,
we want to honor your time. If you feel like you need to head on, that's fine.
Yeah,
So
just,
ihop.org web screen line.
Yeah, if you need to go, I wish we could play like loud music so that everyone's comfortable, just like waltz out. But seriously, if you need to go, roll out.
Bye.
Yeah, good.
Bless y'all.
Good. Brent, why don't you, is everything hot up here?
Yeah.
Let's get everything hot. I want the prayer leaders on this side of the room, worship leaders and singers in these chairs over here. I don't know if you feel called to prayer lead or sing, but go ahead and just go and get everything hot up here. I think this is significant. I want to do this for a little bit, and if you have to go, take off. But if you really want to kind of see this thing happen and see kind of what it looks like, so why don't we have everyone else? I think the majority of people just kind of roll, but let's everyone else just go ahead and stand up. And Brandon's just going to begin to lead us. Tim, why don't you get up here and prayer lead? Who can sing? It's real informal. I don't even need this mic, honestly, but it's really informal. We're just going to kind of do this thing together. The way I was taught is just like in a line. Kind of like, okay, your turn, just go. And just allow the Holy Spirit to like lead you. So we're going to be